Do you find yourself caught in a love-hate relationship with food? Is food both your greatest comfort and your biggest challenge? Are you stuck in a constant battle between your strong desire to lose weight and the overwhelming urge to eat? If you're searching for a practical, step-by-step solution to break free from overeating and binge eating once and for all, so you can achieve your weight loss goals and fully embrace your amazing life, then this Body BFF video is for you. Perhaps you adore food, but part of you resents it deeply because you think food is what keeps you from being thin. If you've ever binged or have found yourself in a cycle of binge eating, then you know very well how painful it can be, both physically and mentally. But don't worry, bestie, there is hope. In today's video, I will go over 3 super helpful ways to finally stop binge eating for good. I will share with you 3 things that helped me overcome binge eating and are research-backed, proven methods. Also, stay tuned until the end of the video because I am sharing with you an incredible tool to help you stop binging for good. Okay, let's get right into the top 3 things you can do to finally stop the cycle of binge eating. 1. Stop dieting. Instead, allow yourself any of the foods you typically crave, even if you consider them bad foods. One thing I found helpful was to start journaling. I wrote down all the foods I loved, even if I thought they were naughty foods or off-limits. Decadent pastries, nachos, cheesecake, French fries, and pizza, for example. Write down every food you love because, as a first step to overcoming binge eating, you must change your mindset of foods being either good or bad. You can focus on incorporating nutrient-dense fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. After you help your mind heal from the extreme categorization of foods in either the good or bad category, we must stop this behavior as a first step. So, to help reframe your mindset to stop thinking of food as good or bad, you'll want to practice what's called mindful eating. And this is how to start practicing mindful eating. When thoughts of eating arise of your next meal, or as you begin preparing food, take a moment to pause, breathe deeply and slowly, and simply observe what's going on in your mind and body without any judgment. Then, think about the foods you really, really, really want. Once you've decided on your meal, pizza plus a side of French fries or cheesecake. Then, put your desired food and portions on an aesthetically pleasing plate and sit down in a quiet, calm place to eat it, without judgment. Slowly enjoy every single bite to practice this mindfulness while you're eating. Do not judge yourself for what you eat. Just think of how delicious the food tastes and tell yourself you are grateful for having the freedom to eat what you really are craving. Mindful eating enhances your enjoyment and appreciation of food. Plus, it helps you feel satisfied with smaller portions. Studies show one of the key benefits of mindful eating is that it enables us to fully savor, enjoy, and appreciate food while consuming smaller portions overall. Additionally, mindful eating can foster gratitude for your meals. It encourages you to reflect on the origins of your food and appreciate everyone involved in bringing it to your table. Practicing mindful eating fosters gratitude for the way food nourishes our bodies, helping to create a deeper and more positive relationship with the food we consume. Mindful eating also will eventually reduce cravings, because this practice can essentially reprogram your brain. As you develop this habit, you may notice a shift in how you respond to food triggers, eventually letting go of most unhealthy cravings and embracing healthier ones instead. All right, let's move on. Number 2. Understand the psychology of eating on aesthetically pleasing dinnerware. In other words, get yourself some pretty plates and bowls. The appeal of food often depends on its presentation, which can make it appear appetizing when the food looks delicious and is placed on a pretty plate. When a dish is visually appealing, our senses respond, setting off the experience of eating even before the first bite. This includes everything from increased salivation to a heightened heart rate, a sense of anticipation and excitement that comes with the promise of enjoying a delicious meal. The size of the dishes you use can influence how full you feel. For example, Smaller plates can make portions appear larger, which may help you feel more satisfied while eating less. Other elements, such as lighting, ambient music, and the cleanliness or tidiness of the space where you are eating your meal, also play an important role in shaping your overall eating experience, your enjoyment of the meal, and these factors ultimately help you to stop eating when you are full. A thoughtfully arranged table and beautifully plated food can uplift our mood and create a welcoming atmosphere, sparking anticipation and excitement for the meal. How we eat is just as important as what we eat. Practicing mindfulness while dining on pretty dinnerware allows us to fully appreciate each bite, fostering a deeper connection with our food and drink. It also enhances the experience of sharing a meal, strengthening our relationships with those around us. According to studies, the quality of food means more than the quantity. Most diners tend to favor smaller portions of high-quality options, such as ice cream with a delicious, appetizing topping, over larger quantities of lower-quality choices. So, if you want to begin your journey to stop binge eating for good, you'll want to eat exactly what you are craving without judging yourself or feeling guilty. And you will also want to put those meals on beautiful dinnerware and sit in a peaceful, clean spot to enjoy your meal. That means no more eating from takeout containers. All right, now let's move on to the third thing you can do to help you stop binge eating. 3. Find another way besides eating to cope with highs and lows. Eating can trigger the release of pleasure hormones in the brain, such as serotonin and dopamine, which may contribute to addictive behaviors. Additionally, food can serve as a coping mechanism to escape or numb unpleasant emotions, or to fill unmet emotional needs. Food can also be a go-to way to celebrate in extremely happy moments. In other words, someone who is obsessed with food will find any reason to eat, but extreme highs and lows can be especially triggering for a binge eater. To combat this, you will definitely want to implement number 1 and number 2 on this list. You will also want to find a way to replace your tendency to turn to food when you are feeling sad, stressed, anxious, or any emotion that is more extreme on the scale of balanced or neutral. It's easy to fall into the habit of turning to food to cope with emotions. Our relationship with food is often deep and complex. Do you find yourself reaching for a comforting pint of ice cream when you're feeling down, or grabbing a bag of chips to help diffuse anger? Studies show sometimes people turn to food to cope with emotional emptiness or to seek comfort rather than to satisfy physical hunger. Here's how physical hunger differs from emotional hunger. Physical hunger tends to come on gradually, beginning with mild cues like a growling stomach and building up to hunger pangs. Even when it's intense, you can typically delay eating. In contrast, emotional hunger often arises suddenly and feels urgent, creating a strong craving for food immediately, even if you're already full. The key is for you to notice the difference. With the right strategies, you can identify emotional hunger triggers and begin to manage them to overcome binge eating. In this section, we'll explore several coping techniques to help break the cycle of emotional hunger triggers. Remember, instead of always feeding your sense of taste, no pun intended, try relying on your other senses. Eating engages all the senses, making it a deeply immersive experience. If you recognize that you're not physically hungry, a helpful strategy is to engage your senses through other activities. This can redirect your focus and help manage emotions without turning to food. Here are some alternatives to try. 1. Sight. Take a walk in nature, visit a museum, or try taking up a calming new activity like coloring in a coloring book. 2. Smell. Breathe in the scent of fresh-cut grass or light a fragrant candle after cleaning your bedroom or living area. 3. Sound. Listen to your favorite music, soothing nature sounds, or find a YouTube video with peaceful nature sounds, or one that shows walks around a beautiful place like Positano, Italy. 4. Touch. Use a stress ball or fidget toy. I personally love those squishy stress cubes to distract my mind. I will put a link in the description below to one of my favorite cubes, called the Neato Nice Cube. I'm not affiliated with them in any way or sponsored by them. I just think they are a fun way to take my mind off stressful things. So give it a try if you would like to, and let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for staying until the end of today's video. And as promised, here is a tool I have found incredibly helpful. It's a book called How to Have Your Cake and Skinny Jeans Too by Josie Spinardi. Again, I am not affiliated in any way or sponsored by the book author. I just found it super helpful, especially when it comes to helping with point number 1 from this video, which is essentially the first step towards permanently being free from binge eating. It's linked below if you'd like to check it out. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Body BFF channel. It really helps the channel, and I appreciate it so much. Well, that's all for today. Thanks again, besties.